The Pakistan's top leaders are waiting with bated breath to see as to who has passed the litmus test in this action-packed election. We're just a few hours into the counting process that is now at this moment taking place. The voting, remember, began at 8 a.m. local time across Pakistan. It closed at 5 p.m. sharp, and since then, the counting of the votes is presently underway. Now, for all of those who are lined up waiting to cast their ballot, this, of course, is a big moment in Pakistani democracy. And my colleague Anas Malik has been tracking all the developments very, very closely for us. Anas, we are quite a few hours into the counting of votes. Tell us, what is the picture that is emerging in terms of the votes that have been counted, and how much more time do we need to go before there is some clarity in terms of who could be the next Prime Minister in Pakistan?
Well, if the initial interim results are to be believed, then this seems to be an election that is being overtaken largely by the independents. That's what media reports indicate. I'm standing inside the Election Commission of Pakistan. Behind me, what you see is the media wall. It's still white. That indicates that officially the Election Commission is still awaiting results. But having spoken to ground sources and having had a look at the Pakistani media, it emerges that it is likely to be an election that has largely been swept or won by the independent candidates. Now, independent can go either way. It can be PTI-backed independent candidates, or the PMLN-backed candidates, or even in cases in Punjab, the Pakistan People's Party-backed independent candidates. Around 10 to or 10:30, we're expecting the first results officially by the Election Commission of Pakistan to be announced. That's in about an hour's time from now, and there would be a press conference in the election city not far from where I am. But all in all, the momentum is pretty high. It's all charged up to see as to who actually gets to govern and form the next government in Pakistan as a consequence to these elections that have just concluded earlier this evening. Saleh.
All right, Anas, thank you very much indeed for joining us from Islamabad and getting us all those details. We'll, of course, come back to you as more details emerge in the story as the voting continues in these elections. Meanwhile, I'm told that we're also joined by Barrister Mohammad Ahmed Pansota. He's in fact a member of the legal counsel for Imran Khan, and he's joining us live from Lahore. Now, Mr. Pansota, this is, of course, a very crucial election for Pakistan. Imran Khan, at this moment, is in the Adiala prison. He cast his vote earlier today via postal ballot from the Adiala prison. And you, of course, are his legal counsel. Tell us, how is the PTI and, of course, Imran Khan looking at the elections that have in fact taken place in Pakistan today? And how does Imran Khan intend to take this forward?
Well, the elections themselves were very, very difficult for Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf this time, because prior to the taking place of these elections, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf had to, in fact, go through massive issues, both on the legal side and, of course, on the social side as well. As far as the legal issue is concerned, the primary legal issue that they were confronted with was the lack of symbol. The symbol was taken away from them, and they were fighting these elections without a symbol, which, by the way, mind you, is a fundamental right under Pakistani jurisprudence. Supreme Court has held that in the past. So with that sort of atmosphere, they were entering the political arena. But today, the results so far, which are, of course, unconfirmed results and are compiled on the basis of information that you gather from left, right, and center, independents are leading. So Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the candidates which were supported by Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, were labeled as independent candidates. Now, this also gives rise to another legal debate, because under the Constitution of Pakistan and the electoral laws, the independent candidate has the right to join any political party. Now, if they were to be taken, or they are taken as Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf candidates, then of course they will not be able to leave the political party, because the Article 63 of the Constitution very categorically prohibits that. So this is another legal challenge that will be up against very soon. But at the moment, from whatever the reports which we are seeing on TV, because the mobile service is disbanded in Pakistan, so our only primary source is the television and social media. Of course, the Wi-Fi service is active. It claims the independents are leading roughly about 114 seats, and Pakistan Muslim League Noon, the Nawaz group, is leading about on 40 seats. But once again, this is all unconfirmed unless the Election Commission of Pakistan announces its first decision around 10:30.
Absolutely, indeed. So we, of course, expect some announcement officially from the Pakistani Election Commission. Until then, everything that is, of course, spoken of is just mere speculation. But on the basis of the fact that it is now being reported that it is the independents who seem to be clearly in the lead in many of the seats across Pakistan, how does PTI, in fact, want to take this forward from here? Because the chatter before the voting was that it is an election that Nawaz Sharif is likely to storm back to power. But from what the indicators are, in fact, now coming out, it appears that Nawaz Sharif may not win the election, and it is the independents, many of whom are, in fact, backed by the PTI, could be the ones who could be leading as the largest number of people who've won the seats.
Well, I must say that I will not completely minus Nawaz Sharif out of the equation. But yes, you're right. Prior to the elections, there was a chant, there was this thing in the air that he might win the elections. But at the same time, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf was massively popular. And this fact was established everywhere in Pakistan. But it was just the lack of symbol which was creating all the doubts. So what I see from here is that there is going to be another legal battle, which will primarily revolve around the legality of the independent candidates. And once that is done, I think majority of the independent candidates will form a government. And mind you, the Election Commission has already given an indication that the independent candidates can themselves form a government and they can be led by the Prime Minister. So once again, this is all a legal battle which is going to take place in the next few days, and then it will be resolved.
Absolutely, indeed, Mr. Pansota. You are the legal counsel of Imran Khan, and you're very circumspect in what you're saying, but it does appear that at this moment that the independents may have a lead, but we, of course, have to wait officially for the results from the Pakistan Election Commission. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for joining us and getting us those insights then.
My pleasure. Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.